What it do? What it do? Welcome to another edition of Live on Sunday. It is I, your greatest host in the known universe, King Crowder, based out of Houston, Texas, man. Thank you for tapping in with me. You could be anywhere else, but you choose to tap in with me with another edition of Live on Sunday. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you for tapping in. Share the channel, share the live, man. Today's edition of Live on Sunday, like I always do, I'm going to chop it up about what's going on, and I'm going to decode the messages that you hear going on. Make sure you drop your city. Make sure you let me know where you watching from, where you tapping in from, all the good information. I hope you've been enjoying your holidays. This week we got Christmas. Next week is 2026. This is the time right now that you reflect on 2025. Did you get done everything you want to get do? Did everything get completed in your timeline and your lesson? Have you chopped it up with your family? Have you called your people? Have you saw what's going on? Good, bad, and ugly. This is the time where you look back at how 2025 went. And 2026, how do we step it up even more? Shout out. I got something in for the crowd gang I want y'all to pay attention to. Pay attention to this. We will have a raffle for my subscribers on YouTube. I will be giving away some money because I always do show live like it need to be done. Make sure you pay attention to the raffle. I will be giving away some money. The money will be given out for the raffle to show love. It will be some requirements, some good amount of money for me to you, but I'm going to show you love as well as many other things we got to get into. Book for the week. Take a listen. You not listening. Phenomenal read. Why do I recommend You Are Not Listening book? If you need to learn how to step up your listening skills personally, professionally, socially, interactively, if you need to learn how to listen better in the new marketplace we got down, do you need to know how to reshape and repivot conversations? You need to know how to repackage and listen to people and also give productive feedback. You Are Not Listening is a phenomenal read to add to your library. It's a phenomenal book. You know, I push the information. I don't just give you critical data and analysis. I like to know you why I give it to you. So whenever I chop it up, add that to it. Live on Sunday. If you did not know, also add things I wish my parents would have taught me by your boy on Amazon or whatever bookstores you can get into. Make sure you do that. For today's lesson, let's chop it up, man. Everybody been talking. F the streets. F the streets. What does F the streets really mean? The number one thing I like to point out to everybody is that street guy, street family, street energy, been through things. The problem that most of the street guys we have is there is no elevation. There is no graduate growth. There is just, if you're a street ninja, you can only be that way. You can't read. You can't develop. You can't grow. You can't age out of the process. If you're a street ninja, you only can be a street ninja one way. So when you hear that message, F the streets, what they're actually saying is F the way you used to think and grow some. Think about this. Follow me. I'm a street ninja. I come from a street background, lost people, been locked up, been arrested, had family members, the whole nine. The difference is I understood it took time to grow through that. Yes, I love the streets. Yes, I love my neighborhood, but I understood that I have to elevate my mind as I age. There is nothing worse than seeing an old brother that claims he's a street ninja with no motion. If you ain't got no motion as you age, you will not get respect. If you do not have things you read, you accomplish, you do, you will not get that respect. When they're saying F the streets, they're saying F the negative habits that don't allow you to grow as a man. As a man, you can be of the streets. I am. But you cannot be doing the same thing you was doing when you was 21, bro. I get it. But I think in actuality, you have people, aka 6ix9ine, stepping in saying F the streets that are not of the culture. Remember, follow me. You are not of the hip-hop street culture that people emulate, they talk about. The streets is a code word for black men. Pay attention. The streets are a code word for black men. Black men, they saying F you in the way you go about things and how you glorify your age. What they're not saying is that you have to have time to grow. I love what the streets bring. I love the street energy. I love what they represent. I love the triumph and downfalls. I love the culture and assimilation to it. Yes, but I also do not like how it pigeonholes you to be the same. Remember, you must unlearn habits that are no longer useful to you. If you are in the streets, you must unlearn habits that are no longer useful to me. Think about this for a second. What I learned at 19 in the year 2025, 10 years ago, still be applicable now? Those rules that were implemented in the 1990s and the 1980s, they're still applicable now? Wait a minute. The point of being a street ninja is to be able to pivot and work what's best for you now. If the information that I once learned does not benefit me currently, why would I still be going by that active playbook? I want you to think about this. Staying in the streets and the philosophy that it once had, even if you're a father now, even if you have bills, a mortgage, a life now, they are saying you can't pivot and grow from that. They are saying the man you once was, no matter where your life is currently, you got to stay there. That is what the people that are saying anti that. They're not speaking on what the symbolicism of the habit is. Remember, F the street is saying F the mindset that didn't serve me well. The mindset that's going to serve me now and where I'm going, that's what I'm focused on. So I am going away from the traumas. I am going away from the court dates. I am going away from the stealing even though I didn't have much. I am going away from the people that did not serve me and did not benefit me. Yes, why wouldn't you be against that? Now, of course, we're not saying we're against the people, but we're against the mindset that it took to remain there. Because remember, there's nothing worse than an old street ninja. I know I had to say it. There's nothing worse than the old street ninja that ain't got no guidance, that ain't been nowhere, that ain't trying to read, that ain't trying to elevate, that is just stuck in that mindset of this is how it used to be. It has to stay that way. The greatest skill for any person, human being, life force you ever have is adaptation. The strongest don't survive. The most adaptable do. So if you were in the streets and you had to adapt to access your life in the way it's going, that's the most strongest person. Not the person that said, this is how it was back then. We got to stay this way. You a fool. You a fool to say that's how it got to be. You a fool to go against the movement, against people that are going against their mind to better themselves. You a fool. And you ain't hurting nobody that's going against it. What you are actually showing in real hand is that the people that think differently is a problem. So remember, when you hear the F the streets movement, it's the F the street philosophy, the mindset, the stuckness, the things that have no bearing to you where you are currently. That's what they mean. And remember, the person that's championing it, that's going against the grain for it, that's pointing out the hypocrisy for it, is not the culture. I don't know why nobody's ever said it's a 6ix9ine yet, because I hear him so much talking. Bro, you have no pull. You have no sway. Nobody listens to you. You have no bearings. You cannot make nothing happen in the culture that you are a guest in. So as we go through and we learn and we unlearn and we move and we shape and we do better than our predecessor, than our fathers, than everybody has been, that's how you know they made an impact or a vision. Remember, my father's a certified street ninja. Sold it, did the whole thing, job, pricing, everything. You know what the one thing he said to me the most is, son, I would hate for you to go through all this life and did everything I did. Every father of a street ninja has one aspiration for his family, to do better than the previous generation. Not stay the same, not be just as broke, not having the same memories, not having any money stacked up, not having any curiosity, not having any bank or anything put back, but being in the same predicament they was. That's the ultimate thing for any street ninja. I got to be better than how I was. And I'm better than how my father was. He tells me all the time. That's the point of all of it. So street ninjas, do not be afraid to say, F that movement. I agree with it. I agree with the philosophy change. I agree with the structural change. And I agree with the messaging. Because remember, they're not saying F the people, because that's us. That's Black Americans in this country. What they are saying is F the mentality that puts you in a place where you have no understanding. F the non-growth mentality. F the non-growth thinking. F the people that don't want to see you do better, grow better, earn more, produce more, take care of your family more. F that. That's true. Who would be against that type of philosophy? And finally, if you are a father, if you are a family man, the greatest baron you can ever be is a person that leads your family. The greatest baron you can ever be is a person that leads your family. Don't worry about the street code, the ethics, and everything else they talking about. At the end of the day, ain't nobody gonna cry for you like your kids. Ain't nobody gonna care about you like your mom or your daddy, your wife, your whatever you got going on. They ain't gonna care as much. They ain't gonna pay the money up to bury you as much. They ain't gonna put no money in your casket. They ain't gonna live and be there for you. They ain't gonna show no love or show no remorse. They ain't even gonna see your mama. Ask me firsthand about just burying his brother and seeing it in real time. The people that was with him all the time didn't go see his mama. They ain't putting no money in his mama's hand. It was your brothers that had to do it. It was your loved ones around you all the time that had to do it. Thank God that you had enough resources and you built into them in the foundation enough to do that. Ain't nobody paying for his kids. Ain't nobody investing in their families. Remember, which is your ROI, your return on investment. You put all this money in the streets, and what you getting back from it? What you getting back? The heartache, pain, fights, beef, destruction, problems. What's your ROI in it, bro? We grown. You a man, you developing. What is your cost benefit from it? All that work, all that effort you put in, does it mean a damn thing? Forget what everybody else talking about, man. Man to man. Everything a bit of work and every bit of effort you did, what are you getting back from it? Forget what everybody else talking about. We know you guys in the police. You guys in the Russian. You going against the grain. Who else is helping you when you go in with something? Who going to see your kids? Who going to check on your baby mama? Your wife, your girl, your mama, your auntie. Who's doing that? That is the whole point of anything, man. Stop believing the hype. Don't let a short-term lesson pigeonhole you back from what the man you are supposed to be up and discussing. So from King Crowder, F the streets, F the mentality, not the people. If your mentality is, I got to be the same way I was in my family, you wasted the last 10 years of your life. The great Muhammad Ali said, if a man spends the last 5 years like he did the previous 5 years, he has wasted 5 years of growth and development. The only thing constant for a man in life is change. It's change. And it's more change. Put your family first. Put your loved ones first. And most importantly, the streets don't aid you nothing. Man, let's go on to our first topic of the evening. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Baby, I gotta ask a question out here in these streets, y'all. I've noticed something. Why does New York hate so much on Atlanta? New York, come on down, baby. New York City, come on down. New York, artists, people, the whole ship in the group, y'all boys need to stop hating on Atlanta. New York City, y'all boys need to stop hating on Atlanta. King Crowder, why are you saying that so much? Every time I hear a New York artist, somebody from the Northeast Triad taking a shot at Atlanta artists, and they never responding. So many times I hear so many people from that area talking about Atlanta weak, Atlanta fell off, Atlanta politics, Atlanta snitching. Y'all need to work on y'all craft. I know Atlanta has been on top for a while, but ATLians, especially their brothers, get so much hate. Georgia men get so much resentment. The Northeast, all them other guys from other parts of the group, y'all hate on the South a lot. I don't know if I'm breaking news on it. I don't know if I'm saying something. If I hear another New York City segment speaking on the South without getting y'all own motion, Y'all need to stop it. Y'all need to stop it. It's blatantly seen. It's blatantly discussed. In Atlanta, the South keep it so player, they don't even respond to nothing. They know they on top. They know y'all trying to ride their motion. They know they are the top dogs going on right now. But the one thing that's so player to me, that's so real to me, is that I see y'all constantly badgering, talking, and have a negative subject about an Atlanta artist, an Atlanta motion, an Atlanta energy, and Atlantic problems. I'm noticing that so much when there's so many other things that could be a topic of discussion. But it's real deep because there's many things that we could be talking about, but it's only on Atlanta, the man and the artist. State of Georgia, keep winning, keep shining. Remember, y'all artists had the album of the year. If ain't nobody tell you that YFN Lucci, that boy went on to something. YFN Lucci has the greatest album of 2025. Yeah, I said it. Remember, all that hate that Atlanta get, let's talk about something important in the building. Let me show y'all a flyer that I saw today, man. Tap in with me. Fair use. Y'all, a picture is worth 1,000 damn words. I'm going to let that marinate for like 3 seconds. If you have not seen this file right here, y'all, the money of America's messed up. The average cost to buy a home right now is $2,697,000 a month. The average cost of buying a home is now $26,979 a month. I want y'all to think about this right now. Out of all these discussions, vision board, Stubman, beef issues, is no damn way that something like this should be this high. We talk about beef, we talk about problems, but ain't nobody talking about the unaffordability rate and how many of our babies gonna be affected by this when this market crash. This market crashing, y'all. You don't believe me? Go outside and see the streets. Ain't nobody going out. Ain't nobody got no money stacked up. Everybody really living below their means. We just quiet about it. But you know, here, we talk about everything. And that train of unaffordability is coming. Think about it. Wages, income has been stagnant. But goddamn, houses cost almost 3 racks per house. And if you don't know where it's coming from the Airbnb run the play crowd. They buy up homes, which I understand you're trying to get money on them. I'm not against it. But right now, out of all the problems, all the things we see on social networks, the unaffordability right now, it is so understated. It is so scary. It is such a catastrophe that's coming right now. I'm not here to fear monger you. I'm just here to tell you what the ag market is saying, what's going on. Don't believe me. Look at the numbers yourself. Right now, it is almost more likely that you can get an apartment with 2 incomes than you can for 1. Why do you have to worry about that, Ken Crowder? I want you to be aware because you got to start putting stuff to the side, people. You got to start projecting where your money and your resources are going to have to be. Right now in this American economy, yes, the entertainment side is fun, right? The F the street movement is good to get the blood flowing. But while we saying F the streets, we need to say, where are we going to be living at next? Do I have enough people around me that I can live and roommate with something? Are we going to have generational wealth stacked up? Are we going to have to really cut corners and cut costs with something? I'm looking at the home sellers right here for year to date. Y'all know I always come to the numbers. What's selling? If you look at houses from 2014 to 2015, it's damn near the same. In 2014 to 2015, right? The mortgage rate that we sold was less and less. Ain't nobody closing on no houses. Where they selling at? Let's look all down the board, y'all. Look at the names. Look at what they playing. It's too high. It's too expensive. You have places in certain areas that had less inventory in 2024 that has more now. Mid-Florida, Minnesota. Look at these places, y'all. Inventory has not moved, and we're down almost 45% in the house buying process. Hey, that's scary. Let that marinate for a second. Scary as hell, y'all. That's scary as hell because it lets you know that it's bad out here. I know everybody rich. I know everybody flossing. I know everybody make $100,000. I know. Everybody making $200,000 and ain't no money. It ain't nothing out here. We living above something. I can afford everything. I know that's the notion to say, but in actuality, it's bad. It's bad. How bad? It's bad that if you don't have the requisite skill set or the ability to develop or see your progress, you're going to struggle a lot more. It's bad when you're seeing people and businesses that are closing a lot more than availability. It's bad that you will have to slash your lifestyle. It's bad that if you're eating out so much more now, I advise you to eat at home more. It's bad that you may not see your price cuts a thing being cut, but you should. It's bad that the pivots that we once talk about and we laugh about and we joke about, we don't see the last accomplishment with. It's so bad that maybe we ought to rechange our focus. Maybe we ought to go into compounds. Maybe we ought to live close and leave these communities. Maybe we ought to be ready for these changes. I know it's doom and gloom, King Crowder. That ain't my style. What I am here to do is to remind you what's actually going on. It's to remind you and read the news. It's to give you the information that nobody else talks about. Why is it important to talk about this information nobody else talks about? Because if you do not know where things are, you will not know where they're going. It is fun to talk about the fun stuff, y'all. I'm 100% with it, right? I am, man. I love it. I enjoy it. I love everything about it. It's fun, right? It's good. It gets the blood flowing. But you got to be aware of the movements, the conversations, the discourse, the actions, and where other things are popping up and where they're going. Next, I don't know if y'all seen it, y'all, but there is a delineation movement heading to white America. Delineation movement heading for white America. You know, I've been telling you about the Black American Renaissance going on, the heritage, staying exclusive on content, right? Did you know there is a delineation movement happening on the white American side? Write this down if you don't know it. Heritage American. Heritage American. Heritage American. Heritage American is their version of original to this country. The original white Americans that landed here post-antebellum slavery. Not the ones that immigrated here through Ellis Island. Not the ones that came here post after the colonization. Remember, there has been a supreme separatist movement that is going on right now. And I'm going to show you how deep it's getting. That the heritage movement is catching steam, just like FBA has. You know, the one thing that I think a lot of people were not prepared for is that the FBA movement is really speaking out how and what this new demographic will begin to affect us and how it would affect other leaders. I'm going to try to show y'all a video. I'm pulling it up right now. Is that fair use, y'all? Remember, I always keep up with y'all politics. 2026 is a political year. And Heritage Americans touch the Republican side. And let's say some of them people, a.k.a. Vivian Ramaswamy, got his wake-up call. Take a listen.
About criticizing the woke left. Now let me get to the harder part. There's a different vision of American identity that's emergent in certain corridors of the online right. And it says that your identity as an American is based on your lineage.
They've been feeling that way, Vivian. You just getting a late response for it.
That how long you have been in the country, your lineage and your genetics tied to the blood and soil of the country determines how American you are. It is the idea of a heritage American that says the truest form of an American is somebody who is a descendant of the American Revolution period or before.
Vivek, that is what the whole talking point and what people believe. Just because your philosophy is different doesn't believe that that's not been a main talking point of the mainstay. But I want y'all to pay attention. A lot of the immigrants and buffer class are starting to hear it. Heritage American, just like FBA, is starting to surround the airwaves. They're following suit, and they're having their own delineation movement.
And I will tell you, this idea of the heritage American, we ought to have this discussion. It's becoming more popular. I think the idea of a heritage American is about as loony as anything the woke left has actually put up. There is no American who is more American than somebody else. The American quality, it's not like the left, they believe in this non-binary stuff. There's no non-binary American. It is binary. Either you're an American or you're not. And you think about it, I could prove this to you. Thank you. I'll take some applause on that. If you really believe in this idea, think about where it leads you. Leads you to believe that Donald Trump is less of an American than Joe Biden because Donald Trump's mother was an immigrant and his grandfather was an immigrant. That doesn't make any sense. Leads you to believe that somehow Bernie Sanders is more of an American than Senator Bernie Moreno from my home.
What they're saying is that you're less of American. You're giving examples of white American, Vivek, and what you're not discussing is how you look and how they don't view you as one. I know that's what you don't want to address or be direct about. You're giving an example of other people and not you. So when people have that conversation about you not being a heritage American, yes, they are talking about you, brother. I don't know why you just don't go direct to the source and say that and speak on stand on business, but that's exactly what they're talking about.
Home state, an America First patriot, because Bernie Moreno was a naturalized citizen from Colombia. It makes you think that Marco Rubio, our great Secretary of State, is somehow less of an American than Elizabeth Warren because she's a Native American, which will.
Historically speaking, they would all say that Marco Rubio and the people you mentioned were less American. I don't know why we act like history doesn't play a reflect and repeat itself, man. You said all that, Vivek, to say nothing. You just yapping. You yapping right now because you know that this talking point is not going anywhere. You know that the heritage American movement will start to spread. You know that your time is up, my boy. Plain and simple. You had your wave. You aren't prepared for your next step, but your time and your usefulness is up.
No, right? Doesn't make any sense. It's loony. It's crazy talk. It makes you believe that somehow I am less of an American than the transgender criminal who assassinated Charlie Kirk. We refuse to accept that. The idea that a heritage American is any more American than another American is un-American at its core. And I will fight to the very end for that because that's what it means to be an American. We believe in ideals. That is who we are.
You know, it's kind of funny to see this and knowing who this guy is with politics. For you to really understand what racial dynamics mean in this country, you got to understand that it circles around injustice. So you're trying to give all these just remarks, but they don't give a damn, Vivek. They don't. You just yapping with nobody who cares. Your lineage, your ilk, your philosophy, all that stuff you said fell on deaf ears, my boy. And until you understand that, which I do have a brother on TikTok that gave his turn of events that spoke frankly from the horse's mouth. A fellow Indian who gave a lot of talking points and a lot of fellow things that I want to play. Because you know me, we do our research here. Shout out again, crowd again. Pay attention.
What it's going to take for my people to truly realize that we're not welcome here. And it really doesn't matter whether you were born here or not. We're all looked at the same. Now, if you're Indian and you're watching this, you know as much as I do that we have a lot of similarities and we have a lot of disconnects. As descendants of a nation that was once colonized, we tend to whitewash a lot. And that is a truly strange phenomenon that happens. As someone that looks like, speaks like, and basically has the same story as Vivek Ramaswamy, I can let you know right now that this is nothing new. It doesn't matter what your accent sounds like. It doesn't matter what you believe in. It doesn't even matter how rich you are. The point that I'm trying to make is that no matter how hard we try, we're never going to be them. And this is nothing different than what other minority groups go through in this country. Whether you're Black, whether you're Mexican, whether you're Asian, whether you're Indian, it doesn't matter. We'll always be seen as the lackey. And as soon as they don't need us anymore,
you know, the one thing I love about the most is that all awakenings happen whether you expect it or not. I'm reading a great book again by the brother Neely Fielder that talks about this ideology of racism, white supremacy. It's not the ideology of justice, y'all. Remember, it is not a justice system. So for you speaking in a justice remain, it won't make sense. You are speaking to a group of people who are determined to misunderstand you. You are speaking to a group of people who are determined not to align with you. So every talking point that you give the Vivek Elk, every talking point that you give the Myron, you're wasting deaf ears, bro. You're trying to seek solace on something, but it's actually a cultural thing. I'm going to over assimilate, F everybody else, and do what's best for me. I'm trying to gain as much goodies, as much impact, as much love from that community. I don't care about what you say. I don't care if it's not an organic thought. I don't care if I have to hurt myself in the process. I'm going to do whatever it takes to earn, get, and be acknowledged from a certain group of people. But the one thing they never invest in is that every run has a time frame. Every dog has his day. Every entry point must have an exit ramp. And all of the bootlicks, the Sambos, the people that like to go on that podcast acting like I'm assimilating, I'm the quality minority. This is your wake-up call. This is your wake-up call. The Heritage American, the FBAs, all those groups that are coming in a radical political form, we are getting more politicized in this country. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it. I know a lot of people are not aware of it, but it's coming. And it's unavoidable. The economy, the money, the jobs, the access. We are in a political reparation movement right now. You ain't got to avoid it. You just got to be aware of it. All you can hear is their heartbeat. Time to change. What worked 5 years ago will not work today. It will not work today. And you ain't got to believe me, man. Just watch it. Watch what you see what's going on. Watch when you see the movement being talked about. Watch the people that are getting criticized now. Watch the people that don't have an opinion now how they felt about it. Just watch it. Be observant. And I want you to see being neutral, having a certain ideology, standing with a certain group of community, the feelings of it was once accepted by a group, it's all changing. I'm even go deeper. The mindset is changing in white people. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention.
Well, there's been Jared Taylor and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm fine with it. I have to be honest though. I get bored with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll hear these like blasts from the past doing a podcast, and I get it. It's like Black IQ is low and crime is high, and we're well behaved, and we score very highly on the LSAT, and Asians too, and also the Ashkenazis, and we need our own country. It's just sort of like, okay, I get it, but the fact that it's always one thing I have noticed about nationalists in general, and I guess Christian nationalists or white nationalists is two things. First off, they seem to have a kind of ill-defined conception of where all this is leading, like what it means to have a white country. Well, even if we had a white country, if I like snapped my fingers and all non-Bavarian phenotypes, evaporated or something, we're still in decline, by the way. Like, we are still facing every single problem.
But not maybe not either. But white people have a lot of problems too, with like drug addiction, porn addiction.
Exactly. Yeah. We're still facing this crisis. So you're not.
Injustice only survives so long. Injustice, philosophy, thought process. It's a phenomenal book by John Montells. Let me share it right quick. I recommend all of the Crowder gang read. King Crowder gang read. The Dying of Whiteness and How Politics of Racial Resentment is Killing American Heartland. Everybody should read it. Why do you recommend this book, King Crowder? It goes into the philosophy of why hate, injustice, disenfranchisement has an expiration date. What you saw from that younger white male was him speaking on that younger representation date. Injustice, assimilation, the talking points. It's phasing out. What you saw when Vivek Ramaswamy was getting on there saying the same thing, hey, choose me. I'm the safe one. That philosophy, that mentality, why is it being phased out? Because they need us. We are entering a new version of this world, y'all. We're entering a new version of this economy. We're entering a new world that will affect everything. I know a lot of times when we talk about what it will affect, I don't think most people are even aware how serious of an impact it will have. They don't. They think, I'm just hearing it. The world is going to be somewhat similar. But there was an article this week written by the spectacular news group, man. AI will kill lawyers. If you are not ready, I'm going to give you a brief summary. AI lawyers will be sold as irrevocable because it's complex nuance in the human environment. However, AI can draft contracts, case law, and already obviously it can do a quality output threshold while practicing landscapes where clients do not recall and will need from lawyers in many years. AI will be a phenomenal tool that will help circumvent lawyers, judges, and remove some of the barriers to entry. AI does not have the emotional arguments, but it has the quantitative analysis that many large other people will guarantee. The law is not protected, nor is the traditional landscape. You should be aware and you should be able to pivot to know that they will interpret, read, change, face, regulate, and remove a lot of the barriers and court costs. What does this mean, King Crowder? AI is coming for lawyers, analytical jobs, doctors, anybody that have to read and constantly review something. Why do I have to pay these high-ass bills? If I can get the qualitative data done, it may not be up to expert field and get you to review it. Why not just do that? Why do I need you to interpret, go against the law, have those legal fields? It will kill some of those career paths. Everything that we redeemed and will be safe long-term will not. We always talk about the lower level where AI will kill. I know people throw shade, say disrespectful remarks. I get it. But those high quantitative skill jobs, those monotonous we do every day, we check, they will be removed too. Unless you are forward-facing the customer, unless you are forward-facing the client, where you have an emotional, a connection, you're up for replacement. If your job requires you to interpret data, to look at numbers, to analyze, to check for malfunctions, you are on the chopping block. Don't believe me? Read. AI is a tool and a mechanism that will help bridge the gap between those discussions. AI is meant to make monotonous tasks simple. AI is meant to help with those type of things. That's all it's for. Right now with me, y'all, on my YouTube journey, I use my AI assistant Claude for content, for ideas, for creation. Never for my content and what I'm going to say, but as far as my ideas, my thumbnails, my shorts, I use it all for them. I'm a one-man crew. I make my own thumbnails. But as far as my automated technology that I've implemented in my own business practice, 100%. My idea for the group, for the companies, for my work practice, do my daily living, my lifestyle, my planning for my vision, my lady, my pictures, my family reunion, everything else that I try to do, I put it in my AI assistant. 100%. That's exactly what I do. I try to focus all of these things to make myself a better person. If you don't believe that AI will have the same effect on you, you're sadly mistaken. I'm just telling you, this is what the future beholds. Don't believe me. Watch, observe, read, listen. Next up, with another edition of Live on Sunday, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, baby. I'm so good, man. We cooking up, y'all. If you have not shared the live, shared the tape, and adjust the discussion, please do. Please do. Our next subject for the evening, man, controversial one, but I believe it needs to be said, man. Shout out to Tip T.I. Harris. Long video, but I believe we got to watch it in totality so I can give you the information afterwards and we'll be able to have an intellectual discussion. Tap in. Let's go.
It's going viral more recently
For real?
with Kurt Franklin.
What?
Where you basically said you didn't need no middleman, kind of like Tip Ain't Funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. I go straight to the plug. You hear me? You know the industry I come from.
Yeah.
And we bypass all short stoppers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I mean, I think that I've observed and learned that as far as religion goes, I feel like that's a way for humans to hide behind God to control other humans. You dig? And you know, it's unfortunate that that's the case. But those who can't see it and who still, you know what I'm saying, on the hamster wheel, I just say, you have your own access to God, and he don't need no money. He don't need no money. He's straight. If your God need money, you need to come see mine.
Now, do you say that because they only or what you perceive as a business, a church business?
Oh no. Well, first of all, it's not what I perceive as.
Okay, so
that's
I'm saying
exactly what it is.
What do you mean? Like you saying? You just saying it's
do
a
they
business.
count money at the end of the day?
I don't know.
Do they count money at the end of the day? That's a business.
But I'm saying, is that your only reason why?
That is a business. No matter how you feel about it, no matter how the way you think, no matter what he said that might have been harsh to hear, what Tip said is a business. If money is taken and received, and something is given to you in a form of fashion where income is drawn in, that is a business.
You're saying that about the church. And I'm just saying, I'm not saying to get on you. I'm just saying to understand because I don't know.
So let me just clear it up a little bit.
Yeah.
If you asking me, is the only reason I'm saying church is a business because it is a business indeed?
No, I'm asking you for clarification. Is that why you're saying that? I'm not saying
because
yes
they
or no.
collect money.
Yeah.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not because
the money part is a huge issue that nobody talks about. I'm going to break down why, but I want Tip to keep talking because I believe I want to hit my 5 points after this.
Because they collect money is because it has become, you know, so much of a high priority. You see what I'm saying? It has gone even, you know, it supersedes the word at times.
And don't forget, y'all, the church that remember those asking for $1,000. Remember that video that was recently this year? Close the door. All of those tactics that we see over and over again, where it's surrounding money and you have to invest and you have to give and you have to get. They are right, y'all. No matter how you slice it, they are right.
You know, I've said this. I've said this publicly.
But you know what? It's unfortunate because I do see your point of view about that when it does turn people off. But again, like I said, it is unfortunate that it does turn people away from going to church.
It's a business and a show.
It is.
I know.
Show.
I get it. That's what I'm saying. I'm getting it. Wasn't what?
It's a show.
Why?
You're supposed to get sharp and go to church. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, Sunday is best, but
for me, I'm gonna end it right there, y'all. I think the one biggest point, I'm gonna give 5 points that I believe a lot of churches. Shout out to Tip, by the way. It was bold to say what he said in Hot Atlanta, but I'm gonna give you 5 things that I learned that churches didn't used to do. What qualifies me to talk about churches? Family, grew up in their small town, y'all. Religious background, believe in God. I do wholeheartedly, but I do believe we've lost our way. Number 1. There used to be a deposit that helped families buy homes. Did you know that? Back in the day, in most religious and church institutions, they were the first one to help you get inside your home. Follow me. If you are an active member that tithes, that's actively a part of it, they are supposed to be the one to help with your down payment and closing costs. Churches back in the day felt that void for families who were trying to get into home ownership. They felt that void. Churches gave the money, acted as an individual, and the pastor blessed the home. That's where that action comes from. Come to your home and bless it. Number 2, there was a singles ministry. We have a lot of ladies that go to church. The fellas don't go. That is the church responsibility. The women that are looking to date and find a man, it was the church's responsibility for the head pastor to find you a husband. Your job in going to church is to meet a like-minded individual that believed in God, that had the same belief system and thinking as you. The pastor would anoint it and create relationships. We have money. We have subjects. We have what they used to do, they no longer do anymore. Number 3, it wasn't just about the tithes and money. It was about a gift to the storehouse. It was about whatever you could bring that could add value and add to this church community. That was the third thing the churches are missing. Number 4, churches used to have strong political allies. Dr. Martin Luther King was a minister. Churches spoke on current issues. All the issues that we've seen happen in America in the past 15 years. Name me the predominant church pastor that spoke on a black or white. Name me an issue where they actually spoke, had a stance, went against the status quo, spoke against race, ethnicity, or other battle issues. That is the 4th thing that churches have not dealt with. Number 5, churches are still segregated. I have rarely ever seen a black pastor lead a mega church where it was multicultural. I have never ever seen that issue of racism, of race, of idolatry being addressed inside church communities. Churches have fallen off because they do not stand for what they ultimately supposed to stand for. That's why. So when Tip is saying what he's saying about things that used to be compared to now, that's what the indifference is. And it's so bad that I don't think most people know. If you talk to a person 21 and under, y'all, do you know how many have actively been to church in the past 5 years? Pay attention. 10%. 10%. 10%. The elderly class are what they're going to be. They go, they believe, they have a community there, and that is outstanding. But as far as re-engaging the youth, they flopped. Most young people have not been, do not go, will not serve, do not believe in it. And that is 100% on the church leadership. You have failed to ingratiate yourself with what they're supposed to be doing. You have failed to grow and build with them. Not saying all. There are some pastors, man. Shout out to Rev Anderson. Shout out to Rev Pastor Sonic. There's good pastors out there. I ain't going to be disrespectful and say it ain't some that I truly love and admire, that have helped me in my journey from where they're from, and I appreciate you. Shout out to you. But there is a lot that have muddied the waters. For the ones that are phenomenal, which we do have some phenomenal ones, there are others that are not. For the ones that truly believe, and I know they pray, and I truly believe something. When you go to a lot of these cities, y'all, they muddied the waters. It's woman first. It's nothing about families. It's nothing about marriage. The biggest sign for me, I want you to think about this. If I had to ask in the past 5 years, how many times has their church has hosted a wedding? What would they say? Let's do the numbers. Let's run it. Real talk. Let's go into it. If we had to run the numbers right now and break down, when is the last time you've hosted a unification of the family in a church setting? In the past 5 years, look at your books. Your members getting married. Your members buying homes. We know what they're invested into you. And I'm with it, man. Investment to be there. But when it's the other way around, what have you invested? What have you built? What have you done? What have you served? What have you created? What have you done? We got to analyze. We got to critically think. We got to critically talk. T.I. could be controversial about his statement, but he wasn't lying. Atlanta's full of wealthy black people, man. And I love it. But the auditing for these churches, it is a phenomenal subject. If we review it, if we look back and we see the progress that we asked in the past 5 years, how many houses have y'all bought for y'all people? How many marriages have y'all set up for y'all constituents? How many people have you truly blessed in your individual? Not just money. I'm off the money thing. I believe income and money matters. But I also believe, what are the actions you show? What have you done on your own? Where's your church community? If I've asked them, what have they been through? How have you helped them? I want to hear from you. What did you do? Forget what everybody else is saying. What did your individual congregation do? And that's why, in my opinion, the church word is over. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just telling you where that train is coming from. It is. Next up, y'all. You know we always follow up on things. Remember, if you swing at the king, you bet not miss. Fannie Willis is on trial for the state of Georgia for putting them paperwork
I'm
on.
sick and tired of hearing.
Trump swung back, baby. Pay attention. Pay attention.
You all want to intimidate people from doing the right thing, and you think that you're going to intimidate me. You all have been trying to intimidate me for 5 years, which is why I have not been able to live in my house for 5 years, because the N-word has been written on my house. Thousands of threats have come to my office, and instead of doing some legislation, when someone says something inflammatory that you know is going to cause them to be the victims of crime, you ought to do something about it. But you see, I'm not Marjorie Taylor Greene. I ain't gonna quit in a month because somebody threatens me. I took an oath to do the right thing. People came into my community and committed a crime, and I indicted them. And rest assured, if someone else comes in my community and commits a crime, I will indict them again. It's a dumbass question.
I know it is, but go ahead and tell him, because it occurred after she was.
Prior to being sworn in, she was district attorney?
No, she was not, but you asked.
Until I return to my question. Prior to you being sworn in as district attorney, is it your testimony today that you did not have any conversation with Mr. Wade about investigating the 2020 election?
Do you want to answer?
It's a dumbass question.
I know it is.
I'm sick and tired of.
Attorney D.A. Willis stood on business and told how she felt. This is the question I have most importantly, y'all. She's been indicted. They are going after her license. They're going after her. She swung at Trump and he sent them people. Trump hit a U-turn. Trump sent the train. Where are her people that supported her at, man? She did something big for her community. She put a RICO. She did what she did. She dismantled a gang. But when she swung at the president, all the people that had the battery behind her back, she said for the past 5 years she couldn't afford to live in her home. Where her supporters at? Where the people, where the Democrats, where all the cameras, where the video footage? Where is her support team to be behind her to say, hell no, that ain't right? Why is she by herself in open court facing the brunt of the Georgia state law like they ain't gonna do her dirty, y'all? Shout out to Jason Black. We do not have a justice system. We have a court system in this country. And she is in Georgia court system fighting for her life. It's not a justice system. It's an injustice system. Attorney D.A. Willis is in there fighting. I don't see no Georgians going crazy. I don't see her Democratic constituents saying that, no, that's wrong how they doing her. I barely even saw. I had to look for it myself, y'all. You know I always do the check back. You know I always try to see what's going on. But I don't even see no news about this. Like, damn, everybody that won at Trump, they get back a month. Trump said they get back, and he must be listening to that YB Fat. That get back is strong with Buddy. He pulled up on her saying, you about to get all these charges. You about to go to court. Everything you did to humiliate me, I'm going to do the same. But the biggest thing that don't sit well with me, y'all, is that one thing I agree with. When you go hard for a party, they don't have your back like they do others. Gavin Newsom, I'm seeing his face all over the TV. I'm seeing Gavin Newsom. I'm seeing his talking points. I'm seeing people support him. I'm seeing protests. But I ain't seeing none of Willis' face. I'm just seeing her in the state of Georgia fight for her life. I had to look for it and find it. I had to go see it. I had to really go look for it. I see her on an island pushing and fighting her own beliefs. Why is that coming? Why is there nobody's talking about that, man? Why hasn't been no conscience? Everybody on here with the other political commentary. But we got her fighting for herself, surrounded by herself. All that tells me is this, y'all. Democrat political pundits, have your base. Have your base that's going to ride with you. She ain't got no base, y'all. Remember? She don't. And sad as it is, she's by herself. The cattiness, the enthusiasm, the energy, the feelings, everything that she's showing and giving off, that shit don't matter in court. They're going to try to remove everything from you. All that hard work and all those things you did, don't even matter, man. This is a living testament. When you swing at power, don't miss. Do not be the crash dummy. They let you be the face of attacking Trump, and they knew that man was going to swing back. And sadly, your legacy's done for that. And it's truly a tragedy. It is. It is. Next up, it was a phenomenal discussion on the conversation this week. Chime in with me, chime in with me. My next subject I want to chime into, y'all. Fair question. What's an unpopular opinion you could put you in position? This is an awesome answer. If your job requires a college degree, you should be able to write the student loan payment as a business expense the way the CEO writes off yachts, private jets, and other things. Think about this, y'all. Why the hell, excuse me, is this not true? Why can't we write the college expense off? Why can't we get all these things to go on? Why? Why can't we write it off if the college requirement is meant to be for a career? Why can't we go against the grain and say, you made me be that career, everybody should be paying it off? Why is it that only certain professions qualify for college debt reimbursement? Why? Why is it that we want to get ahead, we want to invest in our people, we want to believe in what we will believe in, but we don't want to add a nickel to help people do better? I'm going to give you the reason why, y'all. We don't care about our people. We don't care about what you got going on. We don't care what you invest in. We don't care what's popular. We don't even care if you have the benefit of it. All we care about is that you gonna work no matter what. Head down, face down, get to work. Get to work, stimulate the economy, buy a house, buy this. We don't care about investing in our people. We haven't in years. We don't. We don't invest in any of our people. We don't teach. We don't learn. We don't grow. We just don't try. We don't. And the sad thing of it is that we do not see the repercussions on how that's going to affect us until this current day. We don't. We don't. Oh, man. Next up on Live on Sunday, y'all. Phenomenal talking point from our boy Big Bank. I love tapping into the street conversations. You know, this is that point in the conversation where we actually pivot and go on to the fun stuff that we need to talk about this week. Number one, I got to show you the video, y'all. Man, the video is worth 1,000 words. Pay attention.
Black suburban girls and Black boys who come from a...
This might be a little...
I don't know why it's keep going, y'all. I'm going to play it again. If you do not know, Tom Brady's ex-wife married the side ninja. All this proves, if you do not know, ladies and gentlemen, is that Tom made the right decision. Mentally, emotionally, physically, she already had her exit plan. She decided to go with the guy and with him, even though she was in an active marriage with Tom Brady. But you know the one thing nobody's talking about? Will she get the same level, or will she be just as happy with him? Because you have the child. Now you have the wedding. Will the guy stay loyal, or will he divorce you and get half? Remember, when you left Brady, it was an equal footing. The status went up. We saw the same thing tried to happen when we saw the information from Kim Kardashian. We did. We saw it happen. Give me 1 second right quick, y'all. We saw it happen. We did. Got it good. My fault, y'all. My fault. Is it good again? Hold on. Got the camera move. Hold on. My bad on that, family. My bad. Am I good? All right, we good. I saw the same thing with Kim Kardashian with the man, right? But what we didn't expect is that the happiness will be different. Will she be happy with the brother? Will there be any love, lasting romance, blissful marriage, things to look forward to, happiness, growth, new things? You got with a brother because you was in a relationship. Was it a rebound or was it truly love? Time will tell. And you know, the one thing we cannot say, Brady made the right decision. Brady knew you was cheating. Brady knew you was on to something. And Brady was absolutely right to stand by his guns. Why? Because not even a year into your relationship, you got remarried and you left. Very sketchy, very unadmirable, and most importantly, he was not wrong the way he was feeling. Our next major subject for Live on Sunday, the list. The Harvey Weinstein list. Man, I mean, Jeffrey Epstein. I said Harvey Weinstein. Jeffrey Epstein list. Why ain't nobody been... I've been seeing false... I've been seeing no name or documentation being released. The Epstein list. They had a fake picture of Michael Jackson. They were doing a catch-22. Why is the information not being released yet? That was a damn waiting list. Why ain't it been the articles? Why we seeing F the street movement and everything else, but we ain't seeing the real cause behind the Epstein list? We saw a fake picture of Michael Jackson. They tried to remix and say it was him when it was a different capacitor. Why is there so much hate towards Michael? Why is there so much disrespect everywhere? I want to chime in with my people. Why? It lets me know it's a lot of big people on there. It's a lot of big pictures. It's a lot of hidden information. It's a lot of secrets. Because the Epstein list took a long time to come out, and we ain't heard a peep. Name me the names. Name me the people. I've only saw black people. I ain't seen nobody else. We saw fake information, fake pictures, fake details. Could somebody really digest and analyze who's on there? I ain't seen no stories. I ain't seen no detailed information. I ain't seen no accurate list. All I'm seeing is blacked out information of others who on it. Now that's been released. You tell me, what's the long street? What's the details? Where's the videos? We got surviving Diddy. Ain't no surviving Epstein. Where's everybody else in the outroar? Where's all the information, the pictures, the documentarians, the people following people around, the people that were giving their take on something? I ain't seen it. It's been real quiet. It's been also weird quiet. You know what I mean? It's been weird quiet to the ways that I know it's a lot of things about to hit the fan and what's going on. And I want y'all to think about this. It came out on a Friday or a pretty second for the holiday weekend. It came out on a day where news was slow, but we still ain't seen nobody talking about it and going to do it. It was company figures, big letterheads, but we still have not seen enough people dive into the subject. We still haven't. All we saw is one photo of Michael Jackson getting smeared. I don't know why they hate Mike so much. Shout out to the king. But it was a picture that wasn't even there. That was a fake picture of them with children. Michael Jackson is the most disrespected man of all time. He is the most lied upon, disrespected, disingenuous, not loved, went to the Hard Rock campaign in Cleveland. That mother don't even got his own damn floor. Michael Jackson, the greatest pop rock icon of all time, doesn't have 3 floors in that damn building, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Throw the damn building away. Think about that for a second. Michael Jackson, the greatest, most famous, iconic musician that ever lived. Facts on that D. Those are keeping an eye on facts. Fendi fact. Let me give her a round clap for that. And it was truly sad to see, man, that all that misinformation is given. But when I personally saw my own 2 eyes, it's first-hand research, it's second-hand, third-hand. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, throw the whole damn Rock and Roll Hall of Fame away. I don't get how you gonna have a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in there and you ain't gonna have Michael Jackson, they're gonna have 3 floors. They had Bon Jovi had a floor. And Michael don't. It's all politics. It's all who you know, who likes you. When did you get in there? Because there was people in there that didn't deserve it. But Michael did not have his own floor. Michael did not have his own representation. That's why these forums and these people don't have as much respect as they used to. They don't. Because we see it's garbage. We see it's an agenda. We do. We see people don't go against it. And what people don't know now is you can't hide from stuff no more. You got to stand on business. You got to speak your point. I'm going to show you how you got to stand on business. Like I showed y'all Fannie Willis earlier, Jasmine Crockett. No matter how you feel about her, I want you to play and listen to what she said about reparations. Take a listen.
I'm going to try to get through these quickly. There's some misinformation going around about your stance on reparations. I guess just based off of someone proposed what we do with tax dollars and you gave critique for the idea, but you weren't necessarily saying you were anti-reparations.
No.
And you've told me you've become lead on a couple of projects.
Yes, like Truth and Reconciliation in the House. That's something that Barbara Lee was leading on that I'm now working on. I think that anybody that knows me knows that I'm a fan of, making sure that people understand our contributions as well as acknowledging the harm that has happened as relates to our people. And so for me, it's always been about what is it that we can actually get past? Because I feel like what we do is we constantly have the conversation and we're like, reparations. But it's like, all right, so if we were to move forward in any way, what does that look like? And so, I look at it like, I think it takes kind of some bold, unapologetic people to move the needle. We know that Donald Trump advocated for reparations for January 6ers, right? And so it's like,
he didn't just advocate, he got it done. And he wasn't bold enough, he was scared enough, he was transparent enough to stand what he's going for. That is one thing that Trump has on all you guys right now that are Black politicians, that he has made it known. You have to have a strong opinion now.
Why is that not a big controversy, right? Like, I mean, that's
because he's standing by and doing for his people. That's why it's not controversy. People respect what he's doing. People do not respect the old politicians and not saying shit. We don't respect that. We don't respect the politicians that don't say shit. We don't respect the people that don't have strong opinions. Trump has shown what you want to get done will get done. The neutral, the stay kind, the political babble, it don't work no more.
a bit more controversial in my mind, right? So why is it that we can sit here and be okay with the fact that billionaires are going to get historic tax cuts?
She did not answer not one time when she felt about reparations, and that will not go over well for the new Black people in America. The old talking points, be safe imagery, y'all, for all political people got to understand. It ain't gonna work no more. It's not. It will not work to have a neutral standpoint. You will not get voted into office being neutral, having a saying, a different mentality. You must say with your chest what you feel. You must say with your chest what you think. You must say with your chest what you are standing behind. The old notion of I'm going to make it through being neutral, being passive, not having a strong opinion, being quasi, doesn't work, y'all. It doesn't. It doesn't. And I don't think people understand that the Obama, let me get along, stay under the radar crowd will not translate and will not do well anytime moving forward. It won't. You don't have to agree with me. Look at the numbers. Look what people stand for. No matter what you believe, what you think, what you may go across something, y'all, the reparation subject for any leader has to be answered. There's a Maryland governor going on right now. Shout out to the state of Maryland. I lived in Frederick, Damascus, and Bethesda at one point. Shout out to Maryland DMV. Maryland governor vetoed of a reparation study. If you do not know Mr. Moore, he is in line to be the Barack Obama ilk. I don't think it's going to work in the future, big dog. No strong opinions, no political base, No stomping your chest like you've done for other people in this country. I know the message in what you're saying, but what you said with your energy ain't the same. You voted against the study. That's not something good to have behind your name. Just like we did last week with Byron Donald. All political class that don't want to speak on this subject will not get black support. Who is your base? Black men specifically are screaming about the task of economic justice. We don't give a damn about symbolicism. We don't give a damn about feelings. Nobody cares. Justice, economic, and real equitable things, tangibles. It's strong, y'all. It's not going anywhere. I'm telling you, you cannot remove the distraction. This is only chapter 1. Chapter 3, chapter 4, with the new generation, they're not playing. The civil rights went for the symbolicism. They went for the we get along crowd. They went for the understanding. Right now, in the economic conditions that we live in, with Trump standing on there letting us not tame, saying we gonna give this champion, we gonna make this happen. You can't fake and fool around no more. You gotta stand on business. You gotta stand on what you gonna do, what I'm gonna get accomplished, what thing I'm gonna bring to the table. There is no more straddling the fence. There is no more. It don't matter what you say, what you think, how you feel, what your lesson is, what you went by. Nobody give a damn about that. They don't. They only care about what accesses and what things you're gonna bring to the table with. You ain't gotta agree with me. Look at what your base is saying. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it, man. Holding firm on what people are going to be saying, man, in the future. It's a scary time for our political leaders, man. It really is. And everybody is having an eye-opening moment. Everybody. Everybody. And last but not least, who's getting that eye-opening moment, if you did not know, man, is the great Candace Owens, as people are saying to her, man. Candace Owens is getting her wake-up call. She always gonna get it, because if you do not know what the great Neely Fuller said, all races, people, and individuals and infrastructures break their tools. I want you to pay attention to listen to the pander. Try to swing back around. Pay attention.
Contract lords. I challenge Black Americans to wake up to your true history.
What true history? The one you always disrespect, Kansas? The one you was always disrespectful to at one point or another? The one where you said disrespectful to Marx and said, you know what I mean? All that stuff. Hold on, let me go ahead and pull up her history while she's talking. I'm gonna let her yap a little bit more.
Because your quarrel is not with white men. Okay. Wake up to who publishes these books and keeps us warring with one another. Christians versus Christians, right? Christians versus Muslims. Wake up and learn the true history of slavery, because that wasn't exactly a white men sport, okay? Jewish people were the ones that were trading us. Jewish people were in control of the slave trade. They've buried a lot of it, but it's there, and you can find it. I think all of us need to wake up to this, because it's a contract.
I want y'all to pay attention to that remark she said, but I want y'all to also pay attention to what she said about George Floyd post this happening, because you know, you cannot come and say something disrespectful and then backtrack it up. Let me try to find that video while we're talking, because her tune has changed a lot, y'all. Y'all might not remember it, but you know, I'm always got your back. You know, King Crowder gonna come with these receipts for you now.
TikTok, search for you, shop, explore,
Lord,
follow a friends.
Let's stop that, y'all. My bad. Let me go ahead and find that video right now, y'all. In case you remember, you forgot. Let me show you. Let me show you when she said those disrespectful remarks about George Floyd and his family. Give me a second, y'all. Tap in and tell me what city you in. Tap in. I want y'all to remember these comments, because I remember. Pay attention, baby. Pay attention. And I got it. Take a listen, y'all.
He's crying.
Hold on.
He's crying.
Concept of racialized police brutality is a myth. okay? All you have to do is sit down and do basic mathematics to discover that the entire narrative that we have been sold is a lie, okay? It's a lie. There is no racially targeted police brutality against Black Americans. In fact, if you are a white American and you commit a violent crime, you have a 25% higher chance of suffering a police fatality than Black people. Now, you might come across some people that are really bad at math, and they'll say, Candace, I know that only 9 Black people were killed last year unarmed by police officers, and 19 white people were killed unarmed by police officers. But Black Americans are only 13% of the population, and white Americans are 60% of the population. So that's why. No, that's not how math works. You don't look at the numbers according to how many Black people there are in America.
You know what's the funny part about the whole Candace Owens conversation, y'all? She doesn't represent anybody. She is truly a person without a country. She been living off of the anti-Black crowd for a minute. Now she's switching up to the anti-Jewish crowd. You know, the one thing she doesn't do, she has no base. She has no love. She has no support. She is a woman by herself. She doesn't represent anybody. She doesn't have any love from anybody. She is truly somebody that is on an island by herself that is trying to build, to establish, to project, to try to create a base because she see what's coming. You want to know what's coming, y'all? What's coming is they are coming for her ass. They are coming. Her critics, her people, her narrative she painting. It's all at the end, y'all. She knows at the end. She knows that they're coming for her neck. She knows that she doesn't have an established base of surroundings. Candace Owens knows that she's on her last days and last ways. So like at the beginning, we went into the F the streets thing, right? We went into that narrative. We broke down how we felt. It's the same commentary. You know what the difference is? The difference is we know that it's a mentality that needs to be changed. Well, Candace sure thinks a mentality that got to be changed. What she thinks is that what I've done, what I've felt, was to make me survive long term. What she doesn't estimate or understand is that what you've done and what you've dealt has been given to you. You ain't got no base that's going to justify you when something goes left. You ain't got nobody that's going to truly believe you and support you when things go bad. Because in our lifetime, they're going bad right now. They really are. They're going bad. You're going to do bad. And the people that support and fund you will cut that funding and that support off. That's why you're trying to spin back around. I'm going to keep on going. But even though you keep going, even though you're trying to spin the block, even though you're trying to create that relationship block, even though she texted back saying, hey, big head, we ain't responding. You ain't got no love out here. You ain't got no allies. You are truly a person without a damn country. You know what the sad part is? We sitting back and we watching. The Black intellectual class is sitting back and watching you struggle. They ain't gonna speak. They ain't gonna say nothing. Why would they? Why do they need to? Why should we? Sit back. Let your actions go. Allow people to see what you're gonna do and how you're gonna grow. We ain't gotta say nothing else. We are going to work and maneuver. Because long term, you always got to come back. But the sad part is, what are you going to come back to? Remember, just like after streets movement, you got to be willing to pivot, unlearn, but you also got to deal with those actions that come back to you. So as we finish another great edition of Live on Sunday, thank you for tapping in with me. Thank you for listening to my big mouth. Thank you to everyone that helped me reach that amazing milestone, that amazing of officially 1,000 subscribers. Let me clap again. I want to tell you, I cannot wait to start this raffle. We're probably going to start doing it January 1st. Hopefully you stay tuned. I got to get enough photo shoot, enough updated. Stay tuned. We got a lot of things cooking. Also, Black Men series about brothers. Background, origin stories is out right now. First series was Killer TV, the origin of Kayvon McKinnon and how he began to form into a guy that came from foster care to form a best conversation network. Subscribe, like, comment to his channel. Hopefully you find something interesting you can take into it, as well as you subscribe, comment, stay in tune with your boy, King Crowder. We got 2 weeks left in the year to 2026 hit. Please enjoy. Think about 2025. Think about all the goals you got coming up. Before you leave today, text your mama, text your daddy, text your brother, text your sister. Tell everybody you love them. Let everybody know what you're thinking about them. Text your wife, text your friends. Text everybody, man. Because when you get in this world, all you have left is family. Clap for yourself. Until next time, follow, check me out on all platforms, and most importantly, love, live, check out a book. Until next time, peace.